Is anyone out there currently struggling with the fear of rejection? And the fear of rejection, I find, can go a couple of different ways. If we're afraid of being rejected, sometimes that causes us to do things that we wouldn't normally do. For instance, maybe you have a group of friends and that group of friends is making a choice to do something that you don't feel comfortable with. And because you're afraid of them rejecting your friendship, if you say no, you choose to go along with it. And then you find yourself going along with things just to maintain a friendship when at the end of the day, when you look back on what you've done, you don't feel good about the choices you make. Another thing the fear of rejection causes us to do or not do in this case is to take action on doing something that we really want to do, yet we're so afraid of being rejected that we don't do it. For instance, maybe you want to start a business and you're afraid of being rejected by not being able to develop a client base, or you have a product that you want to pitch and you're afraid that if you pitch it, somebody's going to tell you no, right? So rejection, this fear of rejection can cause us to do things that we don't want to do, can cause us to kind of bottle up and shell up and not take action. So what I want to share with you today is just a couple of strategies to help you. So I want you to think about this. I want you to go back to your heart motivator when you're making a decision. Let's go back to that first example. So if you're around a group of people and they're making a decision that deep down you really don't feel right about, yet you're afraid of feeling rejected and losing their friendship or their camaraderie, so you go along with it anyway. Before you make the decision to go along with it anyway, I want you to think about that decision and think about why you're making it. So if you have a choice to make, I want you to honestly evaluate that choice. Doing this with my friends or saying no. What happens if I say yes? Why do I want to say yes? And if the answer sounds something like, well, I want to say yes, I'm going to do it because I'm afraid they won't be my friend anymore, that's not a thought that's going to keep us healthy and safe, right? If they don't want to be your friend anymore because you're choosing to say no to something that you don't agree with, then they're probably not the best people to surround yourself with in the first place. Now let's go the other direction. You have a product to sell. You want to ask somebody out on a date. You want to start up a business and you start saying, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Ask yourself why. Check it in your heart. Why do I not want to ask this person out? Why don't I want to share this idea with somebody else? And if the answer starts to sound like, well, I'm afraid they won't like it. I'm afraid they'll say no. First of all, how do you know what they're going to say before you even ask it? And second of all, if they say no, there's always another chance. Jamie Kern-Lima taught me this phrase. It's called rejection is God's protection. What a beautiful reframe that is. So that if you are feeling a little nervous, a little afraid of being rejected, yet you put yourself out there and you hear no, think about it in this way, okay? Rejection is God's protection. That wasn't part of his plan. Trust in his plan for you. If you get a no, that's okay. It just means there's another path. Successful people hear no way more than they hear yes, because they're willing to put themselves out there just like I know you can.